Yo. I'm here to educate, but known to devastate. Rappers from heavy to featherweight, I never let escape be an option. When we be boxing, I'm cleanly clocking, defeating pockets of GC shocking. My speech obnoxious, believe the promise. Indeed an option, you'll need a marksman to see me sparking. Proceed in darkness and face the monsters that eat your harvest. We all famished around here, ribs touching. You spit bluffing and get stuffed for a McMuffin. The kid up in the ante with just a discussion. Don't mash out or your posse could face a disruption. And this nothing whether warriors roam. We all in the spot, broke like the warriors' bones, but ball with a shot, stroke from like 40 or more. Your story for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of How Did We Get Here? I wanted to play a piece of a little tune from my little bro, Dominic to Disco. EP coming soon. I told him I'm gonna be promoting him. You know what I'm saying? Skeens has been low-key A&R'ing on the backside.
Yes, sir. Keep pumping out the song, homie.
But again, welcome to How Did We Get Here? I'm your host, Jay Carter, and the man that has always heard and never seen.
What up, peoples?
Skeens is here, a.k.a. the Wizard of Oz.
That be me.
You know what I'm saying? So, again, got another great episode coming to you guys, but we got two cousins that are like brothers talking any and everything in the process. How did we get here? We wanted to talk about, ladies, sometimes, I have so many wonderful sisters I love and that are intelligent, powerful women and mothers and wives and all that. But sometimes y'all be on that just. So Skeens brought something terribly and wonderfully horrible to my attention. Just sometimes, can y'all let us know? And again, we talking generalities, y'all, but the thought process. Wait, but before I go there, press pause on that. Again, we got an election episode coming soon with my boy Kai Phoenix, and today that we're shooting this is November 24th. Our unofficial third co-host Kai birthday today, so shout out to my man Kai. Let me give you some round of applause, brother.
Happy birthday,
King Kai, baby, King Kai. But we're gonna do a election episode, but this has been on my mind, and I wanted to talk about it on the show. I'm asking Skeens, but y'all, when you saw Van Jones crying like he had just been told he got life in prison when Joe Biden got elected. What did you think? I was in the office, right? And we're always in the office debating. And a lady in the office, she don't want me to say her name, or you know who you are. She was talking about she broke down in tears because of it. And I said, I didn't think that it's necessary to see a brother. It shows that character matters, and I can tell my sons that. She said she felt like America needed this. I said, I don't think they need to see a brother crying like that. Number one, and number two. But go ahead. What did you think when you saw that?
Man, I tried not to watch it. For one, two. Did that brother cry like that when his kids were born?
You know what I'm saying? How he was crying, man? It's like they were like, Van Jones, you have life without the possibility of parole. It shows it. Now, again, we'll talk about this in the election episode, and Kyle probably argue with me, but the mere fact that Biden is elected, I mean, we still got stuff to do. And here's the thing for me, Skeens. Before, whether Trump was in office, whether it was Clinton, whether it was Obama, whether it was Bush, whether it's Biden, whether it was freaking JFK, Abraham Lincoln, as a man, my kids are going to know character matters because of me.
Absolutely.
That was my biggest issue with it.
I mean, even when Charles Barkley said, I am not a role model.
Right.
He got a lot of flack for it, but he was
telling the truth.
Now, it was a harsh, the way it came out was harsh, but really he's saying, you as the parent,
you
supposed to be your kid's role model, not me just because I can dribble a ball, not because I make $1 million
Right.
or on TV.
Right.
Don't look to me. I am not your God.
Okay, thank you. But when I saw Van crying, I'm like, man, it's just a lot of people are they're afraid to go. You have to worry about my sisters when they go to the store. Somebody's gonna say something mean to them. Now, the part of it that they told me I was harsh on is that because, Jay, you live in an area where that's not as prevalent. So, for some people that is a reality. My argument is how I would love to see, I don't know how we would quantify it, but how many people are concerned that when they go to the dollar store, to McDonald's, to Cheddar's, to Walmart, to your favorite grocery store, you're in there like, I wonder if somebody's going to say something. I just don't know people that live that life, but
No.
I'm willing to concede that I'm just not in that environment.
Yeah. Well, my only question I have to anyone, and like you said, we'll get to the election and we'll break down a lot more things. Once all this recounting and all the litigation, all different things has been completed, then we'll actually really get down
Right,
and break
that's what we're
down
waiting on.
everything.
Yeah.
But in my lifestyle span, or as an adult, I'm
Okay.
going to go as an adult, right?
Okay.
I have seen Bush. I have seen Obama.
No, we seen Reagan, brother.
No, I'm saying as an adult. I'm talking
Oh,
about
adult.
as
Oh, my bad. You did say an adult. I'm sorry. Yeah, you
as working
My
after
apologies.
college, after college, well,
Yes.
even whatever.
So yeah, we went Bush.
Bush. We went because Bush did the 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the 2 terms.
Yeah.
We had Obama. He did his 2,
Yeah. Now we're
and now we have Trump.
yeah.
One real question for any and everybody. A real question, not emotional,
No,
not
take emotion and go
not what you saw on TV, not
Right.
what you heard.
right.
How has your life
Right.
changed from president to president? Your life. Once again, I don't want to hear about the sensationalism of what you saw, what you heard, the highlights on TV,
Right.
the Jerry Springer episodes. How has your life changed?
Right.
Your day to day, you, no one else, yours, and give a real answer about you.
Right.
Since even when I was in college, I worked, and I've been working forever. But child labor laws did not apply.
No.
But since I have been an adult, my day to day has not been affected, not one bit, no matter who the president has been. Now I know people have lost jobs and things like that, especially like right now because of the coronavirus, but we've always had ups and downs. So that's kind of
Yep.
not counting those things with the
Right.
job loss and other things, but for those who worked the whole time, let's go that way.
Okay.
If you always had a job, how has your life been affected? Tell me what dramatic changes up or down between when Bush was in office, even after the Chad issues, Obama 8 years, even now. Not the sensationalism of what you hear and telling the Proud Boys to stand up. None of that. You. How has your life been affected?
Right.
Write it down. Per president, write down how your life was affected per person
Okay.
during their term.
Dope. Yeah, I like that.
So we have some tangible in writing so you can actually visually see what you wrote. And tell me what you get.
Okay. All right, we ain't gonna, I'm sorry I took us there. We almost about to do. I'm about to call Kai, but anyway, just some thoughts. I know people already. Jay, this
Because
telling you.
the reality
Skeens
is
and I
it's been
have
the same. No
been
matter-
in the same. I mean, since you came to Texas.
Bro.
Yeah, that was an in the bush.
I was in college when doing the
Obama.
Bush.
Yeah. Yeah.
When 9/11, I remember the day when I went to class.
Yeah, so
But
we've been through, what is this, the fifth, getting ready to be actually sixth term of a president that we're going to go into.
Yeah.
I don't know where Bush was. I'm sorry, so maybe fifth.
the fifth.
The
Yeah.
fifth.
So
yeah.
whether being here.
Yeah.
Yes, and as we talk about, Killeen area is somewhat recession proof to a
Right.
certain extent
To an
because
extent,
of
yes.
the military and all the
to an
other
extent.
things that entails. But even back home in Arkansas, which, like I said, you can do the math, look up our stats.
Yeah.
Ain't the greatest area,
No. Yeah.
but my day to day
Right.
has been the same, no matter who has been in the White House.
Okay. So we'll visit that, and we're saying that we want to debate this. We know that there's going to be a side that's totally over here. We want that debate. Anyway,
Have stats, not
yes,
feelings.
yes. We remove emotion.
But like I said, if we write it down,
Yep.
get a tangible write down of everything,
Yep.
let's see what you got.
Okay. So let's get to what we wanted. Our primary reason for this episode, as I started off talking about, is Skeens shared a video with me, basically of a lady who has how many children?
2 and 1 on the way.
Okay, so she has 2 children, 1 on the way, but her sentiment is that she would not accept a man
Yeah.
that has any children.
So she's with 2 kids, 1 on the way. I forgot how far along that she is.
Right, I forgot that.
Then this pregnancy. So she is on dating sites
Yeah.
saying what her criteria that she has for her potential mate.
Right.
Part of that criteria is, 1, you must be financially well off. Not just regular, but she wants you to have the bike.
Okay. So one point that we'll discuss, finances. Okay.
As well, which in turn, everybody wants someone to be. Everybody not just wants someone to be financial. You want to be financial,
Right, of course.
So I get it. But then she stated that she will not date a man that has children. Mm-hmm. She has 2 and 1 on the way.
Mm-hmm. Now here, let's start.
Hypocrite.
Number 1, the hypocrisy of that statement is why one of my OGs always says sometimes it seems like women are going from 2 sets of books over here, because you want a man to accept you with your 3 to be, but you would not accept what, again, this gets into how men and women, we have this difference of logic and reason. Trey, come here. The difference of logic and reason that men and women sometimes have. And number 2 for me, I think women don't understand anyway. Here's another real question, Skeens. What does that do for where she's gonna fall with this successful, high-earning man as a woman with 3 children? And I'm not knocking single moms or anything like that, but if we're looking at a man that is single and he makes a great wage, where is he going to rank in this is the reality of the power structure of men, of the world.
Well, I got a better chance of winning a scratch-off lottery ticket tonight
You see what I'm saying?
for a cup of meal than she has of finding that unicorn. And the reason why I say that is, right, misnomers.
Okay.
We talk about financing wealth. We know in the black community, our finances very, very slim to none. Regardless of we do have several $1 trillion that we spend. We spend more than everybody else for the most part.
Yes.
But when we start talking about the money in the bag, right? The misnomer is men make more money than women. Well, in the African American community, right? Black man makes, 67 cents for every dollar a man of the dominant society makes. Mm-hmm. Black women makes 64 cents to every dollar to the man in the dominant society. women in the dominant society makes 73 cents. So, but the misnomer of those numbers is this.
Say hey to the people.
We have say hi.
Sup?
How you feeling, brother? We're going to let Trey have a brief intermission. So what we getting ready to do?
Go.
Speaking of Mike.
Go to
Where you going tomorrow?
Oklahoma.
Talking to Mike.
Oklahoma.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Praise the Lord. He's so excited, y'all. He called me at work and told me I need to get on the road after work to ride out tonight. But anyway, I just wanted some people be asking about you, man. So say what's up again. Or what's your see?
And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, and look, y'all, show your fronts right there. The lack thereof. All right, man.
But yeah, as we talk about the numbers and things like that, so as we talk about, for every dollar African American man makes is 67 cents.
Okay.
But the numbers dwindle when you factor in the amount of men that are in the prison system.
Okay.
So there are more African American men in the prison system in the United States than there are women. Black women that's in the prison system in the world. So you do the numbers. There's
Think
more
about all of the women in the world that are incarcerated.
Absolutely.
Black men in America outnumber that.
Yep. So when you factor those men that are locked up, right?
Yep.
The man's dollar goes down to 51 cents. For every dollar of male in the dominant society.
Right.
That tells us the numbers have been vastly overrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you may have some people that may say, well, those men in the prison system don't count. Yes, they do.
Right.
Because the men in the prison system, right, they make police uniforms. Ain't that the irony?
How ironic is that?
You make McDonald's uniforms.
Yep.
They make furniture.
Yep.
They make Microsoft software packaging.
Okay.
They make Honda parts.
Yep.
Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
Is done in that. Did you know that in the prison system, they also have call center in the prison system.
Now that I did know.
Yes, they make who you telling? Hey, you can't fake that Indian that overseas accent when they.
Hey, they may be faking it. I'm calling San Quentin. I thought I was calling Bank. I mean, New Delhi. I don't know. But anyway,
and you giving your social security number. Oh yeah. And you say your social security number is.
Now,
I'll be using this.
How can I help you today?
I'll be using social security to find.
Get back in your cell.
Oh, they make Starbucks packaging. Yeah, bro. It's crazy how the prison system is such a lucrative business.
Yeah, man.
It's high, like $1 billion industry.
Yes.
So those people do factor in the dollar. The dollar. Yeah. So also, we start talking about those people that are locked up.
Okay.
And the time. So you have some of those people, unfortunately, if you are to research the California wildfire budgeting of 2014, just read it.
Okay.
Some interesting documentation.
Wow.
I'm not going to go in. I just want people to read it.
Homework assignment. Okay.
So it factors in the amount of people that are in there and why.
Wow. Okay.
So those people are doing a lot of the work. It's a continuation of the plantation life.
Right.
But you want a man that has a bag. So that with the 700,000 people that are locked up,
right,
and other things, so on and so forth, you're already even at 67 cents to the dollar. You wanting a man that has significant income. You're you're slim pickings.
Again,
And
single, no kids, and a high earner.
And most men that has that many that fits all those bills that checks all those boxes has a lot of options.
His talent pool is the cream of the crop.
He has a lot of options, and chances are he's not going to want to take on. He's not going to want to end his fun, his reign of terror, or whatever he's doing.
Right.
To take care of you and yours.
And
I'm not going to say take care of you and yours, but you did hit the three-peat like Jordan. But what if that man wants kids himself?
Well, here, let me, and I was, guys, I was at the park late at night in the dark. Trey wants to go to the park. Okay, whatever. And just so happens I meet a young lady out there. Her son, at first, because he had little braids, I thought it was a little girl in the dark, but it was a little boy. And she mentioned she had an accent. I was like, yo, where are you from? And she was from like same place Kuma's from. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, my homeboy's from there. And then we start talking. And me sitting out here, Jay starts asking relationship questions, stuff like that, right? So we started talking about that. And I was talking to her. She was explaining. I was asking her, does she date? And she was like, I do a little bit. But oftentimes when men find out that I have a son, it changes the interaction. Mm-hmm. And what I was explaining to her, and again, ladies, we're not knocking women that have children. We're not saying that, right? But the way that men think is that if I'm seeing myself, because men, believe it or not, we can play out kind of how we think this thing is going to go, right? And especially if we've been seeing each other. We've played, even though women think that men aren't, we've been there in our mind. It's just a matter of us making the choice to go there.
Our president is Back to the Future.
Okay. You understand what I'm saying? So a man is thinking to himself, in the case of this lady with 3 children, and the young lady that I was talking to, I was saying that a man is thinking of, okay, I got her and then I got the child. So I'm thinking about financial responsibility. I'm also thinking about, okay, what's the baby daddy situation, all those things. And the young lady I was talking to, she was like, well, because, how I take care of myself, he wouldn't have to take care of my son. A man doesn't think that way, because if I'm truly devoted to you, then I'm going to also assume that as well. I'm not just going to be around in this dude if I'm an upstanding dude that I'm just kind of taking a hands-off approach to this kid.
Well, also, like, you can't be that selfish.
Right, exactly.
To want a man to come in and accept you and yours, because a lot of women would say, which I understand, we're a package deal.
Right.
You want him to assume that entire package.
Right.
But you are not willing to do the same.
You have to be willing to do the same.
So you can't be that. You can't be selfish, because I, as a man, the first thing I'm going to say, if you tell me, you give me those terms,
right?
As we said, we see how this plays out. This
Absolutely.
plays out in that the play is over.
It's over,
because if you're that selfish, from the jump, this relationship is not going to be a 50-50 in no other aspect.
Right.
Because you're not Now I can understand. We're not talking about a guy that got 15 kids or whatever. Right. But if you're saying that you will not date a man that has at least one,
right?
One, you would think, looking at everything, you want to see how that man interacts with his own. Just like when a man meets you, he wants to see how you interact with your family your friends.
Absolutely.
If you're disrespectful to your parents, and it's different when you tell me y'all have a crazy dynamic. But if your parents are doing everything to try to give you the world, you're disrespectful in your household, you're disrespectful with people around you. Guess what? I'm not exempt.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm seeing that the possibility.
I'm seeing how this is playing out.
The possibility is very high.
Yeah.
That I too could catch the straight bullet. So you're not willing to do anything to, because basically you're telling me it's all about you. I'm just here to be to basically serve you, not you. This is not a unity.
Right.
This is a dictatorship.
And this gets back into our conversation of the level of expectation oftentimes in relationships for what the woman has to bring and what the man has to bring, is because the man, the requirement, again, the first, when you tell your girl, or your girl is telling you she met you or her met somebody, oh girl, what did he do? What does he do? They don't ask you really, again, about the substance of that man. That's not the first thing they ask you.
They don't even ask you how'd you meet him? Nope. What did you do?
What does he do? Now, again, I can be honest. Dudes oftentimes like, yo, what she look like though? Because that is the first
visual.
That's first what's coming in. That's why, men do appreciate women that take care of themselves and keep themselves up and things of that nature. And I think even we were looking at the boy Kevin Samuels. He was talking to a chick about, she had, I think, a son. She's successful, this, that, and the third. I have a son. And he was like, well, he was sharing with her that, I've been in a relationship where the person had a kid already. And he was like, well, what about when it comes time to discipline them? I think she had twins or something. And she's like, oh, no, they're perfect kids. They don't need discipline. Again, a man is seeing how this is going to play out. If we're in a serious relationship and the fact that you're saying that they don't need it, anything that I interject in the way of discipline, you're going to disagree with.
Absolutely. Now, question, right?
Okay.
If you're dating someone,
okay,
like me, you're married.
Okay.
If I'm to date someone,
okay,
that tells me, hey, I'm not going to date someone that has kids.
Right.
And you saying, I'm done. I'm not having no more kids.
Right.
Take on mine. I don't want you to have kids. I'm not going to date you that have kids. Right. He that has kids.
Right.
Are you not wishing death upon me? Let me land. I saw my man on some show. He's like, hey, look, let me land.
Let me land. Okay.
So the reason why I say that is having a kid does what? Continues your legacy.
Absolutely.
Continues your lifespan. They're living. They're a living, breathing portion of you. So it continues.
Okay.
You.
Okay. Keep going.
So if you're telling me I can't have anything,
keep going, free.
You are somewhat indirectly wishing death upon me.
Many men.
I'm not trying to shorten my days.
Right. Yeah, that's real.
As well as you want to be able to, okay, well, let's say this, right? If I am with a woman and she don't want me to have kids and she don't want to have kids with me, part of this unity and this union, this love is kids. Let's build something, not just build something from a castle, and build something in terms of offering the best part of ourselves to the world by bringing forth a kid. Absolutely. That shares some of our best, unfortunately, some of our worst traits as well.
Yep.
But bringing forth something that is of us.
Yep.
And presenting this to the world.
I'd smoke a bag of that if I smoked. I definitely would.
But you don't want to. How much unity is there? You don't want to build with me outside of financially.
Yes, because it's about what you do. Because again, I look at that as and I get with balance. What you do does correlate to an extent of what you can provide, because that's what men are looked at for. But again, we have to look at the totality of a man. What are his morals? What are his principles? How does he treat his mama? All these things that Skeens was talking about. But as we talked about when we were texting the other day, this chick wants him to be what she is not.
Absolutely.
She didn't have I don't know what her situation was, but it seems like obviously she made some error somewhere to where she is a single mother of 3.
Well,
the law of averages would say.
and let's say that for the people that's going to say maybe she didn't do anything wrong, maybe she was married and she got divorced. Even that situation,
Right?
I understand totally.
Right.
If you were all 3 kids could have came from your previous relationship,
Sure.
and now you're single.
Sure.
There still is one. Well, there are several things. Number one, if you just left a relationship of trauma, because let's play it as if all 3 kids came from the same
Same father. Yes.
You just got out of the
I was
relationship
married. Got out of a relationship.
because you're still pregnant. Does that mean
Right now.
it hasn't been 9 months?
Yes.
You're pregnant.
Yep.
You're back in the dating pool.
Which for me lets me know something.
Yes. Well, and it tells me you're back in the dating pool. All 3 kids came from the same parent. You're back in the dating pool telling a man that you don't want to date a man that has kids.
Right.
And you don't want him to have kids. That's telling me, one, you haven't healed
Boom. That's
you
where I'm
first,
going.
because if you're saying you just left a relationship, well, you're still broken right now.
Right. Absolutely.
And you're bringing that broken mentality and behavior to a new situation, and you're putting unrealistic expectations on someone else because you still having issues. And this is from the people that will say, well, if they came from the same, okay,
right.
she's not healed yet.
Right.
Last thing you need to be doing is trying to date, swipe right or swipe left, whatever
it is,
You don't need
yeah.
to be swiping nowhere.
Right.
That's the first thing.
Yes.
2 is, how does she have anyone in her corner to let her know you tripping?
Accountability.
Is everyone cheerleading, co-signing, like, hey girl, that's the way to go? Or somebody like, hey, you tripping, let's rein this back. Let's come up with some realistic expectations and real wants, must have, can't live without, so on and so forth.
How many of y'all ladies can honestly say that you give trash advice? There's quite a few of y'all to give trash advice. I'm sorry, that just popped in my head. I'm sorry.
Because there has to be some, well, I'm not going to say it has to be. There should be someone in her corner and say, you tripping. Because the last thing that any of us need is all yes men around us.
Right.
Because if you got all yes men around you, run.
Right. It's right up there with, if you always the smartest one in the room, get out of that room.
Run, because they don't have your best interest at heart. If everything you right, I did. Oh man, it wasn't your fault. You did. Look, run, run for the hills. Get away from those people, because they only around you for what they can get from you.
Indeed. So, ladies, what is this shift, or what is this divide that we see, where there's a level of a responsibility and accountability that we see sometimes that women have, like, are oblivious to, that there's a difference of what you're saying that your requirements are? Where does that come from?
Side note, if you are the guy that's willing to take on those terms with no hesitation,
Come on now.
women, run from him.
Absolutely.
Because he is, I'm not going to say he's weak. Well, no woman, I'm not going to say that. Most women don't want a guy that they can run over.
Right.
And if he's basically always willing to concede and, to do everything, you're always right, not holding you accountable, because he's not willing to hold you accountable. He's not trying to help you elevate, build, and become the better person, the person that you're meant to be, because he's not trying to help build.
And oh, by the way, because we're not that show, it's a shared effort in the relationship of holding one another accountable.
So if he is willing to break at all times, he's a horrible co-D.
Absolutely.
This is, you dating him will be an episode of First 48. He's breaking very easily.
Tell him for an ultimate feast, like Mike F said.
Breaking easily, because that means he has no principles.
Right.
He has no real
Talk
morals.
about morals and principles. Absolutely.
Now, if you as a man make the decision, say, "Hey, I don't want kids," That has to be an internal conversation that you have to have with yourself.
Right.
And say that that's not my goal. But if that is something that you feel in your heart or heart and that burns deep within inside you, and you are willing to suppress that and commit suicide, one, about suicide in terms of your lineage, as well as committing suicide because you ain't happy, because you are killing any and every value that you hold dear to yourself. You tell me that you are for sale. No woman should want to be with a man that doesn't stand on nothing.
Right.
Because if you won't stand on anything, that means that your word holds no weight. I can't trust you if you willing to break up. If you have no standard.
Right. Absolutely. You got to.
Can't.
And I think too, it's key. The conversation is kind of going into expectations, as we always talk about setting expectations early in the relationship and sticking to those. I've known a number of women who are in long-standing relationships with men. I'm flipping it the other way. And they're at this difficult place. And I'm like, okay, what's the issue? He doesn't want to get married. Okay, did he make that clear at the beginning? Well, yeah. He don't want to have kids. Have you always known he didn't want to have kids? Well, yeah. Okay, so how did we get here? How did we get here? So what you have to understand and be realistic about this young lady with the 2 kids and 1 on the way, understanding where if you find yourself in a position where you're a woman with 3 children coming out of maybe 1 at least, possibly more relationships, that you may not find this single, no kid man that is a high earning dude. You may find yourself looking for that for a long time. A long time.
And even if we take the kids off the table, right?
Take that off, yes.
Let's say that you don't have kids.
Yes.
Because we don't want anyone to say mother shame. Hey, my mom raised 3 of us by herself mostly.
Absolutely.
After her divorce. So I love my mom to death.
Absolutely. Me too.
So let's say you don't have kids.
Okay.
Still, the fact that you're telling the man what he can't have kids.
Yeah.
Okay, you may not want, say if you don't have kids as a woman, you don't want to have kids yourself. You're telling this man, I won't date you if you have kids, and I don't want kids with you. And so there's going to be a lonely life for the most part.
There you go.
So even you don't have kids, there's a lonely life.
And what we're talking about, guys, is proper expectation is what we're talking about. Proper expectation. To take a left turn a little bit, I remember on cruise season, there was a young lady that part of the video went viral where she was saying that a dude has to make at least twice what she makes.
Or she would treat him like trash.
What type of expectation are we? So then again, it goes back to what we're talking about. If that's my expectation, what is yours? To just lay down with me? I mean, it's wonderful, ladies, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, look, a good time is everywhere, whether you're male or female.
Right.
So females say the guys that offer me all the time.
Right.
There are women that do the same. Especially when those guys are elevated into a certain status.
Yep.
So, what else do we have to offer?
What do you bring to the table?
So, or if you're in a relationship and you say, hey, I don't want to have kids at this time.
Okay.
Let's go there. I don't want to have kids at this time. Or whatever your intentions of this relationship is. It needs to be renewed every year like your driving license.
Boom.
Let's revisit this.
Yeah.
These terms and agreements. Let's say, hey, we're in this relationship with the contingency.
Yes.
As long as things are continued, the terms and agreements are agreed upon going forward.
Right.
At any point in time that you don't live up to these expectations, or our views are no longer in line, some form of action has to take place. Yeah. You have options. It's not a dictatorship. I'm not telling you that you got to stay with me.
Right. Indeed.
Nor do I have to stay with you.
Indeed.
That option is available both ways.
You can opt out.
Exactly, just like NBA.
Opt out.
You got to opt out
Opt out of this contract.
So, if you're gonna stay in, what work are we gonna do to maintain your roster spot?
Yeah.
Whether a roster of one or a roster of many, what are you gonna do to maintain that spot? Are we gonna go to counseling? Are we gonna be honest with each other? Am I willing to make the necessary change to be a better person, to be the person that I'm supposed to be for you,
Right.
you for me, the person we are meant to be amongst each other? But there's a will or a won't.
Right.
And if you're not willing, or there's also if you're not able, some people just can't meet it. Got it, understand? But there's part of the clause that says, "Hey, let's tie this contract up."
Yes.
You have, hey,
Right. And I think too, again,
breach of contract.
Yeah, it's a breach, man. But I think a part of, again, Skeens and I are always talking about relationships in one way or another. And as he was basically where Skeens is going, let's eliminate all this side stuff.
Oh, side note,
Go
let me
ahead.
cut you off. Remember that other video when the guy and the woman was talking about they had been together forever, and she wanted monogamy.
Oh, yeah. Deval and Kadeem.
Yeah, she wanted monogamy,
Yes.
and he was saying, "Hey, you wanted monogamy. You
That's
wanted
what
to be
you
a
want.
relationship,
That was your requirement. Yes.
but you don't want to do the things necessary to maintain this
A monogamous relationship. Kai, again, my boy Kai the genius. Women, when you get married and you are in a monogamous relationship, you assume the duty of quelling and quenching the flames that I have to put this on you. To be graphic, I'm just saying.
To put it on not you, and if it's not on you, that's
Right? So this is a part of what comes with this monogamous relationship, that I want to be intimate. I want to get it in with you. I want to see, hey, what's up?
and more of anything, you should be.
Why do women take it as an offense that dude wants to get it in?
And it's not, especially when you're in that type, and if you're in a committed relationship, whether married or whatever, however that relationship is, it's not you're not being objectified. You're being praised, wanted, and lusted
You
after
are being
by the person.
elevated.
Yes, that person is showing you how much they enjoy being in your presence.
We talk about objectify. I objectify my wife every day. And she loves it.
But if you are not willing to do your part,
Right.
you are being selfish and you are breaching the contract.
It's a breach.
So, we may need to go back and rewrite these terms, or maybe we need to tear this thing up. But
Yeah.
you have to do your part.
Absolutely.
Or, if anything, if you're not up for that moment,
Right.
you need to communicate with your spouse.
There you go. Communicate. Yep.
What's going on.
Right.
Because if I'm constantly hearing no all the time, me as a man, I'm thinking somebody is hearing a yes somewhere.
Hey, I know we killing it right now, but some of y'all remember R. Kelly had a song. Don't you say no tonight. Don't you say no. Y'all remember that? Don't you say no. And Kel was talking about, I've been buying all these trips. I can't remember some of that stuff. I've been doing these things for you. Anyway, y'all remember that. But
yeah, man, it's a two-way street.
yeah, so again, food for thought, ladies. Do y'all have some unreal expectations sometimes? What are you bringing to the table in a relationship? Is it one-sided? Is it out of balance?
So let's do this, right? Let's write down, because the
Skeens
whole
giving out homework,
New
man.
Year, because the closer we get to New Year, everyone's gonna have these resolutions.
New Year, new me.
I'm gonna do this. So, hey, help them with your vision board.
Okay.
So, let's do this. Write down the 5 must-have, most attractive qualities.
Boom, I love it. Yep.
That you want from your mate. Then also do the same thing and write down your most
Boom. There you go.
appreciated, most attractive qualities that a man will see in you
Okay.
when he is pursuing you.
What do you bring to the table?
And then if you want to,
Hey, wait. And wait. None of it can be physical
Absolutely.
attributes.
Exactly. That's why I was about to go. Is we're not talking about the physical,
Right.
because the physical does diminish over the years. Music Soul Child.
Yes, sir.
Don't change.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
So let's figure those out. Write them down. Let's compare notes.
Okay.
Every people write down yours. We can see what people have. We can poll and see what attributes, male or female. So I mean, hey, make it a household thing. Well, however you want to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
See what the attributes that you have, and you and your spouse compare notes.
Okay.
Women, you compare notes with your homegirls. Guys,
Yep.
whatever. Man, with us, we ain't gonna do it. We're gonna watch football.
Yeah.
But, but
Get that out of here, man. Everybody try to talk about that.
that's the wrong double date pass. Hey, you got your note? Absolutely not. But yeah, let's try to figure those things out. That way we can figure out what are the real tangible things. What are people really looking for? And also for the single people, what is it that you're wanting out of your next, whatever that person is going to be, mate, and what do you bring to the table that will uplift a man's life, or better, his quality of life? Once again, not talking about physical. What do you bring that when he sees these are real tangible things about you that he's going to love and not be able to live without?
Okay. Boom. Well, y'all got the homework assignment from Professor Skeens.
Professor Wizzle. Wizzle.
Professor Wizard.
Wizzle.
But again, it's another episode of How Did We Get Here? I'm your host, Jay Carter, and the man that's always heard and never seen.
You.
We see y'all next time. Happy Thanksgiving.